This is Case with your Raging Auto Service. Today we're trying to find a leak on a 996. This thing has been a pain in our side for a long time. It keeps leaking Freon down. We cannot find it. Usually an evaporator is hard to find. We got some special methods that we use and we pretty much nail it every time. But this thing was a ghost and we could not find it. We've changed Schrader valves. We've changed compressor. I know the compressor was leaking. It has dye in the system. There was dye all down the backside. Anytime there's a dye leak, you can change the part, but now you run into, is that old dye? Is that new dye? Has that been cleaned? Because dye stains it and it's hard to find. So what we've done is to implement running conditions, and plus it's a lot cheaper. We hook nitrogen to it. We charge it with nitrogen. Usually 150 psi is all you need. Charging the high side is usually the best part, and you want to just kind of ease the charge in and then sniff. Now, with a sniffer, it won't detect the nitrogen, but it will detect the remnants of the Freon that's in it, and you just kind of chase it down from there. But with anybody that's ever used one of these sniffers know that it is just halfway. I mean, okay, maybe it's leaking there. Sometimes they can lead you down the wrong trail. So this is not 100%. So we like to do a couple different methods when we do it to test it with a sniffer, or back it up with soap and water is another way. You can always spray your Schrader valve down, and if it bubbles out, then you know you have a leak. We kept getting a funny smell out of the exhaust, and then I was underneath it with a sniffer trying to find a leak. And a lot of people don't know this, but Freon is heavy. It falls to the floor. So it's heavier than air, so when you have a Freon leak, if it's a large leak, it just covers everything. And so you just get the area flooded, and then the sniffer's going to go off like crazy. So I crawled underneath it, and I could smell gasoline. I could smell the leak. Just knew something was going on, and we have this water column. We use this. If you ever work on BMWs, you know exactly what this is for. Put it on the gas tank because I can hear gurgling, and you can see that it's 9 inches of water column and climbing. Is how much it's doing right now with a Freon charge in it, and I can hear the fuel lines gurgling, so I know something is wrong. So then the only place on a 996, the only place that an AC mixes with the fuel is on, it's got a fuel cooler on it. The back of the air compressor does. And if you can stick the phone back there, you can hear, I've disconnected the fuel line, and you can hear it leaking. The fuel line was dry when I disconnected it. I don't have a light, but you can hear it leaking. And it's very rare. That's the first one, and multiple people has looked for this leak and not been able to find it. And it's a massive leak. And it was getting a funny smell. I don't know if this was related, but also getting a very funny smell out of the exhaust pipe. So it's very possible that it was trying to burn the Freon, the CFCs as well. So if you have a crazy leak on a 996, this is probably one of the things to check. Casey with your Raging Auto Service.